to get started. They're just going to press forward without a neutral host because they can't find anybody to pull over Sam's box.
Well, at least on the bright side, it's her best box currently, not Bahrain box, because
yes,
you don't want Bahrain box host. That's for sure.
I think I would prefer Bahrain box host only to Mango's old connection.
I don't know. I think they were pretty close to being even because I played on both, and I think they were pretty close.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
All right, but here we are in our Wednesday Night Grifbrawl opening match of Wrecking Crew versus Supernova. Wrecking Crew in blue, Supernova in red. And so far, Supernova is the definite overdog? Is that a thing, an overdog?
Not sure.
An overcat.
An overcat? Like ceiling cat?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, it's Supernova who comes up with the tip off. And Taco, can you see who's running?
Pimpit currently has the ball. Moving down the left with one tank, and they're spawning on the left as per the Green Army Junior norm. Sorry. Never spawn where we need to. Good defense. Push the ball way back mid-court again.
Well, I mean, if you are bad at spawning, that means you just don't have enough practice, right? So in a way, we're really good at spawning because we have a lot of practice. But Wrecking Crew do well to force a turnover. And I'm trying to see who has the ball. I can't quite tell. They got Malkin and... Yep, there he goes. Thank you, Cal. Sam with the stiff arm there. Ooh, double kill. That was painful. Sam gets the ball off in time, passes it to Neo Malkin, who's on the far side. Neo Malkin of collateral damage fame from way, way back in the day. He has made a triumphant return to Halo 4 Grifball. He has a nice skimming pass right across the plant there. Ball is just kind of hanging out, waiting for someone. That is Ghibli Giblets, who picks it up. Again, Giblets from the EU, so this is a very diverse group that we have playing for you tonight. Giblets in a bit of trouble, goes one-on-one with a sword, does the wise thing, passes it off towards Malkin. Ball overshoots a little bit, and I do believe that is Sam who picks the ball up. She's dropped in behind Neo Malkin, scoots past the tank. Oh, epic lunge by Nico Demons forces the turnover.
Yeah, Nico's definitely got a nice sword range going there.
Yeah, that was like a Halo 3 god lunge.
Yeah. There's something about the Halo 4 sword that it just, if you know how to time it, it's got a decent... Oh, there's a run-in by Nico there.
Well, to be fair, Wrecking Crew did spawn on the right side, but that's when the runner was on the left. So does that still count?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, spawning on this game is not as efficient, I would say, as Threes was. Threes was definitely a little bit smoother.
All right, well, I guess it's not really a surprise that Supernova takes the lead. They are definitely the favored team here tonight. Wrecking Crew, though, putting up a fight. You know, they're winning the tip-off. They're getting involved in hammer battles early and often. And this is a really good press from them on the top right side. Runner goes in and gets the clutch stiff arm, but is in a 2v1 situation and is forced to drop back behind the tanks. That is Snickerdoodle running for Wrecking Crew. I guess she is their dedicated runner. Not bad. Not a bad decision, especially considering her connection right now is stateside, and again, like Taco mentioned, not Bahrain side. And I don't know. I think maybe with that kind of connection, she should be tanking, not running necessarily. But
yeah, ooh, she got good double team there by Supernova.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really have much Hellfire tanks, and looks like maybe able to sneak in again. Yep, there it is.
Wow, that was, again, Nico Demons just kind of skipping through Wrecking Crew's defense. He just kind of split the uprights and walked right in.
Yeah, looks like, again, they caught him on spawn. Going to be timing that pretty good where they can catch him on spawn and just kind of walk it in.
So, again, for this particular kind of Grifball, we play 9 rounds. So right now it is 2-0, so it is far from over. It looks like we have a pro run here by Supernova. He should have been dead 20 times over. I do not know how to... I'm sorry, she should have been dead 20 times over. That was Define Beauty with the pro run. Doing some Mario hops off of Wrecking Crew. I'm not quite sure how she survived.
Yeah, it looks like just kind of sneaked it in there again. Just kind of blasted through past a couple hammer swings. And
yeah, well done for Supernova, taking a 3-0 lead. But, like I said, it's 9 rounds. There's still time for Wrecking Crew to make an epic comeback. And of course, later tonight we do have another game lined up for your viewing pleasure. It's Vital Signs versus Retroactive. Those are teams from the AGLA Pro League, whereas right now Wrecking Crew versus Supernova are teams from the AGLA Amateur Circuit.
Getting a little punch happy like she likes to do sometimes.
Well, if she's going to be punch happy, I'd rather it be on this host than on, on her other connection.
Definitely, at least she can keep possession of the ball a little bit more.
Like,
I'm not sure why they're not having Malkin run. Usually he's their runner, I think. I mean, he's definitely a runner back in 3. I know he's running against us when we played him. But
I don't know, they've got a great opening here. They've just... Oh, that was the point where I think maybe a little bit more aggressive running could have gotten them in there. But, you know, to their credit, they kept possession. They're able to drop back and live to fight another day. And we've got Kirsty DeLacy in the chat box asking, how far are we through the AGLA? And if I remember right, we're in week 5, I think. Good stiff arm there by Snickerdoodle. She's only 1 away. But again, just having a hard time just getting kills together. They're doing okay in one-on-one, but Wrecking Crew are really having a hard time with that kind of team chemistry and getting a push together that is cohesive. Wrecking Crew.
They're getting a little spread thin.
Malkin gives Snickerdoodle a boost through the air, and it does well, but not quite well enough, and Sam does well to get the ball off to Giblets before she is sword sniped to death. Jibs pass it back again, back to Sam, and they're doing well with the air-to-air passing. Not a lot of ground balls, very safe in their passing and their movements. So
pretty good throws there. Not off target, pretty right to people, and not having to worry about the other team picking the ball.
Yeah, they're getting the ball away with plenty of time. Oh my goodness, she just ran. That was some Leroy Jenkins action right there. Just ran and jumped and prayed, and it's an ambulance ball right now. We'll see who gets there first. And it's Supernova on the offensive.
Yeah, Quack had the ball there for a second. But
so this is Euro on Euro aggression here, because we've got Quack on one side and we've got Giblets on the other. So a pretty fair spread of distance as far as the connection is concerned. Wrecking Crew keeping possession, I think doing well than many thought many would give them credit for. And I remember during RTX conversations about the difficulties that Wrecking Crew is having with maintaining their roster and their viability as a team. So to see them on the court tonight, for them to field a full team tonight, I think is a victory unto itself. And if they can put up some points on the board, yeah, I think they're well on their way to working with that 3-11 record.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to Arrow for pulling the team back together, and I'm assuming Arrow because he said he was the one that was going to take over. But it's a testament to him to get the whole team back on and ready to play a game, not just kind of let it fall apart.
Yep, that is definitely a danger when your captain goes rip. But speaking of rip, Wrecking Crew is ripping through Supernova's defense. They are standing tall. They have 2 tanks going on. They have someone on the plant. Wrecking Crew had the tank spread, but just wasn't able to make anything happen on it. Ball is free in the Wrecking Crew half of the court, and now Supernova has possession and are going to look to put 4 points on the board.
Yeah, Quack's got the ball, so you got to... Oh, never mind. He had it for a second there, but he's usually pretty good with the ball. He's pretty smart with it. He usually holds on to it pretty well.
Well, Wrecking Crew now going to make the best of it because they left 2 tanks in the dust. Snickerdoodle has Giblets in front of her. Giblets can get 1 or 2 clutch kills. No, not enough. That is Quack's alive with the carrier kill. But somehow Wrecking Crew come up with the ball. Even after all of that, the ball is free and it is skittering around, finally coming to rest in Neo Malkin's hands. Wrecking Crew holding steady. Neo Malkin a little bit more conservative with the ball than Sam is. Getting bounced to the far side, and again he's got all 3 tanks up and moving, and if they can just press forward, but that is much easier said than done. The runner is isolated, running, jumping, splitting 3 tanks, but there's nobody there up top for him to pass to, and Supernova's going to pick up on this turnover.
Looks like they're giving Pimp the ball. See what happens here. And there's another super lunge. The lunges are pretty good this game apparently. Pimp's back with the ball moving left. He's got one tank on the left, two heading right. Let's see if they split the defense again. Seem to be doing a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, Sam went for the stiff arm. Did some damage and bought our team some time, but runner's still threatening, even in a 3-on-1 situation. Pimp got the stiff arm on Neo Malkin. Jumped for like a fake throw and then passed it back.
So Nico has the ball now and he's moving up, and that was an aggressive punch there. He's going to try and take it on his own. That was probably a smart decision to back up there. I don't think he would have got that. I think it's interesting to see how the different runners are running, because Supernova seems to be taking a slightly more aggressive when they get down in the other team's zone, as opposed to Wrecking Crew, who's backing up almost onto their own plan every single time.
And here we have Supernova with a really strong push for the plant, and that is the third plant for Nicodemon. So 4-0 for Supernova over Wrecking Crew. Now, Taco, what do you think about the difference in style? Is the aggressive style of Supernova what is winning the game, and Wrecking Crew needs to switch it up, or is it something else you think?
I mean, it just seems like Supernova is out-tanking them pretty heavily in certain instances. I mean, Wrecking Crew keeps making decent pushes, but eventually they just keep getting pushed back to their own wall, and I think obviously making the more aggressive push could lose the ball quicker, but also you have less of a chance of them doing a quick pickup and scoring it immediately. And it seems like Supernova is taking those risks to make those pushes and breaking ahead once that defense gets split from Wrecking Crew.
Now, Taco, as a captain, I am not going to assume that you've been in this kind of that you've been in this kind of situation, being down 4-0. But let's pretend that you have. And what kind of words do you have for your team? What kind of play style would you recommend to Wrecking Crew if you could give them some kind of inspirational talk right now, as they're in the throes of sudden death?
Just stay calm and kind of just try to make sure you stay calm and not get too aggressive or too hasty, and try to make a good push as opposed to just trying to score as quickly as possible, which is completely against my philosophy. Oh, there we go. I got one.
See, they listened to Taco and magic happens, right?
That was, yeah, I mean, that's, like I was about to say, that's completely against my own philosophy of not scoring quickly, because that's kind of what we do on Green Arrow Jr., but I think taking a slight hesitation when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed by any kind of tanking push is a good choice, other than backing all the way back, because then you're going to trap yourself in the corner, which I'm notorious for doing.
So what do you think, other than staying calm, what kind of strategies should Wrecking Crew be deploying here to maybe turn the momentum of this game?
Try and maybe get a little more 2v1s as opposed to just one-on-ones, because it seems like if they can just get a distraction on one side and take out the tank on the other, it seems to be working a little better. But that was unfortunate on spawning once again, kind of got themselves on spawns on the opposite side of the ball.
Well, it's also difficult because the runner looked like they made a fake for the far side and then got in a one-on-one situation with absolutely no backup, and rather than track back and look for support, it looks like the runner just kind of went into a one-on-one, and when you lose out on that one-on-one and you're all alone, there's not a whole lot of coming back from that.
Yeah, and I think the unfortunate thing there was that three of them were on spawn and the runner was alone 3v1, so there wasn't really much they could do, as opposed to they could have tried passing it out maybe, but with the position of Supernova, they were probably a good chance of them to just pick the ball and score it anyway.
I was about to ask, in that kind of situation, would it be a legitimate strategy, so to speak, to just chuck the ball to the far end of the court and give your team some time to reset and respawn, even at the cost of losing possession?
Absolutely. I've done that numerous times, and I've tried to get my teammates to try and do that as well, because I know that it's kind of counterproductive, it feels like, to throw the ball to the other side, but that situation wouldn't have happened. They may have had a better chance of actually getting the ball back, as opposed to just losing it and losing the point to the other team.
Yeah, because when you have a turnover that close to the plant, even if your teammates aren't on spawn, it's hard enough to hold your ground, much less do anything with it. And let's see, I think that is Quacks Alive who got that plant. So that is I think we're calling it the Care Bear right now when everybody is sharing the goals.
Yeah, that's it looked like Quack got that one. It looks like they just split the defense again and just can't quite catch a break for Wrecking Crew. They're kind of getting spread thin pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You've got so many games and you know your record, and there's got to be a demoralizing aspect to it when your own captain disappears, and it's got to be hard to kind of to keep it together, to show up and continue to put your best effort forward. But I know a lot of these players. I know Sam very well. I know Arrow much better after this weekend, and I'm familiar with. Oh, we have someone on the plant there going for the pass, kills off the tank, but cannot find the ball. And Wrecking Crew's well, that's one way to get rid of the ball is to.
That's interesting.
Ball got thrown out the court.
Yeah, the ball looked like it broke through the kill barrier somehow because it was going so fast.
Wow.
I guess that works out in Wrecking Crew's favor because they right on their plant and now they have possession.
Now, if only we could time that, or rather make that a legitimate strategy as opposed to just swinging wildly and hoping that it goes really fast and really far.
That really shouldn't happen at all. So I don't know why that actually happened because I know Knockyard's got these things pretty tight. So I don't see how it did that. But I guess maybe I don't know because I'm noticing slight teleporting, so that may have had something to do with it. But I'm not sure.
So you've heard from Taco that tonight folks are witnessing history.
Yeah, I haven't seen that happen yet. I know that originally when we first started forging the regular Grifbrawl maps, they did have ball cages, and that would happen quite frequently because if you don't touch the ball, the kill barriers don't actually affect it. But I'm not sure why it happened there.
Well, Wrecking Crew is still putting up a fight. It is, even though it's 6-1, we will play all 9 rounds regardless. And Cal being funny in the chat box.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Allie lulled, so I felt it was okay to say. And it looks like we have Sam tanking now, which I think is probably a good decision. If she's on she proved last weekend that she is a formidable Grifballer and a formidable tank, and especially on a stable connection. So give her the chance to swing the boomstick and kill all the things. And I think that is Neo Malkin who's running. And now, Taco, you weren't much of a runner in 3, right? You were more of a hybrid?
No, I was mainly a runner in 3 because I got stuck with the ball every time me and my friends would play double XP weekend because they just wanted to kill people. So I was mainly a runner, and I kind of transitioned out of that as we moved to Dash and then 4.
How would you say that a runner in Halo 4 is different from being a runner in Halo 3? Or even Halo Reach?
I think it's different because you really do have to be more of a utility player in general in 4, I think, because of the passing mechanic. I think everyone needs to be at least comfortable punching 1 or 2 people or so and being able to catch the ball, pass the ball efficiently. But I think running at its core really hasn't changed. I think it's still the same mechanic of just keeping ball possession and making the push when you need to and waiting for your tanks like whoever has the ball is not doing right now. But I think, like I said, I don't think it's really changed as far as a core mechanic, but I think Wrecking Crews realize that they're one and they're just kind of going for it, which is good to see. I like to see that, you're not just giving up, you're kind of just going for it.
Right, I mean, there's nothing to lose at this point. Just go out there and, throw around, see what happens. You might make a highlight.
Exactly. I think earlier, Sam may have been trying to get Neo Malkin to launch. It looked like that's what they were doing, but because I know that Sam has said before they've tried launches, they just don't do it very often. So
that must be a real big change for her, is to go to a team. Oh, looks like we had a tank in here for the score. Yet that is Defined Beauty, who was doing beast work on the spawn and coaxed, I believe that was Pimp in the Crib in for his 2nd point of the night.
I think for Sam, that's kind of the thing for AJLA with her, because she always asks me not to pick her. She wants to have a different kind of play style, not because she's tired of it or anything, but more just kind of work on the other aspects of her gameplay as opposed to doing the same thing all the time with us. So
Variety is the spice of life. It's like a salsa for a taco.
Yeah, I think having a good variety there. Nico with a good stop there on the runner and has a couple tanks with him. But yeah, good variety's good. I mean, I do the same thing all the time, but I don't get bored of things too easily. So.
Which is good, because otherwise you'd probably go hungry, Taco. Oh, we got a strong push here from Supernova. Oh, so close, but great defensive stand by Wrecking Crew.
And unfortunately for Wrecking Crew, the ball gets Franklin all the way across the court, and I'm sure Sam's used to that one because that happens quite often to us, but that's unfortunate for Wrecking Crew because that was a good stop on their part, and it's too bad the ball didn't hang out for them so they could get it back.
I think that was on our wish list to 343 that we made, right? That the ball remain stationary?
Yeah, it's either remaining stationary when it's hit or at least a less of a line drive and more of just a tiny like chip shot we were calling it, because that way it's a little more predictable as opposed to just all over the place.
Neo Malcolm with the slice and dice, and then Sam comes in and hits him like a home run, but Supernova still, oh no, Wrecking Crew forces the turnover. I'd love to see them get some more points on the board because I can't remember who it was, somebody did predict a 7-2 Supernova victory, so I would love to see the prediction from the chat box come in. Deflection by the hammer, and the ball is free in the near corner, and Supernova's gonna get it right dangerously close to the Wrecking Crew plant.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams now, since we're so deep into the Halo 4 life cycle, that a lot of teams have gotten very good at deflecting passes, which is very frustrating for any team that passes a lot. Mm-hmm. But well, I know that. Go ahead.
It reminds me a lot of the Halo 3 days when people said that launching broke Grifbrawl, that it ruined it, but then people learned how to stop launches, and it's like an arms race. For every time the offense figures something out, the defense finds a way to respond. It just takes time to get there.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you just kind of got to get used to. And I know for me, it's kind of okay. There's another lunge.
Oh, it's Define Beauty with that lunge.
Yes.
All right, Giblets has the ball. It's tracking near side.
Gotta be careful crossing their own plant there. That was pretty close to being stopped near their own plant.
Yeah, that makes me nauseous. Every single time it makes me nauseous. And Snickerdoodle is doing well on the tanking, so I'd like to see her stay out there as a tank. But that's tough right there. A quick turnover, a quick stiff arm, and Supernova is threatening to end the game. Toot sweet. But to Wrecking Crew's credit, they're doing well. They're hanging in there. They're staying tough, and yeah, it takes a lot to stay in a game even after it's over. But that's why Grifbrawlers are awesome, and because they stick with it for all. Holy crap! That was right in front of us. That was a fantastic sword lunge, and it went so fast I actually lost track of it.
Like Quack's got the ball now. Let's see if they end up making a push up there. Some good bounce outs by Wrecking Crew to not let them just kind of walk it in again at a 1-on-2 situation. It seems like Wrecking Crew's spawning a little slower, but that could just be me not paying attention as closely as I should be.
And that is Quack is alive with his second goal of the night and the final goal of the game. So your final score, Supernova 8, Wrecking Crew 1. Yes, okay, that ends up to 9. So we'll give you a quick breakdown of the stats, and then we will be quickly rolling over into our second game of the night, which features 2 pro AGLA teams in Vital Signs and Retroactive. So looking at the stats, Nico Demons had 1800 even, Define Beauty at 1490, Quacks Alive at 1420, and Pimp in the Crib at 1065. Snickerdoodle at 1780, Arrow at 1495, Neo Malkin at 1300, and Giblets at 885. As far as goals, Nico Demons had a hat trick. Define Beauty had 1, and Quack and Pimp each had 2 goals. Neo Malkin was the only member of Wrecking Crew to put points on the board. Defensive stops, 2 by Giblets and 1 by Neo Malkin. And Quack also had a stop too. There were 2 interceptions during this game, 1 by Define Beauty and 1 by Giblets. This game was 20 minutes long, So about average, maybe a little shorter than average for a Grifball game, but not by much. Spread-wise, Nico Demons and Defined Beauty were both plus 18. Quack was positive 20, and Pimp negative 15. Sam was negative 2, Arrow negative 22, Neo Malkin negative 15, and Giblets negative 30. So very strong, skewed KD spread. But with that big of a difference, it is kind of amazing that it lasted 20 minutes, as the KD spread might suggest a much more uneven game than the time would suggest, at least.
Yeah, usually that's it. I think it really depends on when the deaths happen and the kills happen, because usually the KD spread is not a good determination, at least in my opinion, of how long the game ends up lasting and stuff like that.
But yeah, so right now Cal is going to go into the lobby and swap it out for our next teams. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, we do have Vital Signs versus